It's not often that a metalcore band can go from a stereotypical metalcore band that you wouldn't take a second look at to a group with excellent songwriting skills who create thought-provoking, emotional music that hits hard. Well, that was certainly the case with The Word Alive and 2016's Dark Matter, the band's fourth studio record and one that saw them show a huge step up in quality and become one of the leaders of the modern scene. Now in 2018, The Word Alive are back with their fifth studio record, Violent Noise, their first since the departure of drummer Luke Holland and bassist Daniel Shapiro, and with the band continuing on as a three-piece. However, Violent Noise isn't quite the step forward that I had hoped for the band, although it does contain some well-crafted songs that are going to keep die-hard fans happy. Violent Noise opens up with a great 1-2 punch of leading singles Red Clouds and Why Am I Like This. Red Clouds is a clear standout track and one that shows a great evolution from the sound explored on Dark Matter. The drum and bass groove that drive the first verse has a terrific feel to it, while the glitching guitars laid over the top create a great sense of controlled chaos. Frontman Telly Smith then enters with a crooning vocal melody that suddenly launches into a powerful screamed pre-chorus. The chorus itself is downplayed melodically while still remaining impactful, and with the melody getting stuck in your head almost instantly. Why Am I Like This is a more melodically focused composition containing one of the best choruses found on Violent Noise. The hooks that accompany the lines I Just Want to Feel Alive Tonight and Our Own Bloody Sunday are performed soulfully by Smith and have a great tonality to them, even if the latter does remind me of U2's Sunday Bloody Sunday every time I hear it. Now, a big question on everyone's mind going into this record was, will the band miss Luke Holland behind the kit? I will say that it was never going to be easy to replace one of the most inventive and intricate drummers in the scene at the moment, but it does feel like the band just kind of found the first random guy they could. It was Luke's creative playing that made so many choruses and riffs pop in the past, and that is sorely absent here. The band's new session/touring drummer Matt Horn falls perfectly into the standard metalcore drummer style and doesn't really have any intent on inserting his own flavour to the record. And because of this, a lot of sections fail to have the impact that they definitely could have had. Uninspired drumming aside, the guitar playing is also quite linear throughout Violent Noise. For a band with two guitarists, neither one seems intent on inserting their own style or new ideas to the record, and therefore a lot of the guitars end up mimicking each other for the majority of Violent Noise. Don't get me wrong, there are some great lead lines found throughout the record, especially in tracks like Red Clouds and Real Life, but these are few and far between. To be fair to the band, they do experiment with a lot of new sounds on Violent Noise, and that's very promising to see. Human has a great change of tone right in the middle of the record, bringing the intensity down and focusing on Smith's melodies. Unfortunately, this is brought down by a rapping verse from US hip-hop/rap artist Sincerely Collins. This kind of feature rarely works within this style of music. Anybody else remember Sleeping with Sirens track Alone with Machine Gun Kelly? Yeah. This is just another failed attempt at that. And this stings even more because Human could have ended up being one of the better tracks on this record. Putting the ill-advised rap verse aside, I do wish the sound experimented with on Human was found somewhere else throughout Violent Noise. This is a record that can become quite repetitive, and something a bit softer and more melodic thrown in every few songs would really help break the record up. It would also give the record some more memorable moments, and not the kind that make you cringe like the rapped verse in Human. I Don't Mind does insert a party vibe to the record, and while I don't think it's the strongest song on Violent Noise, I do think it's going to be a real crowd pleaser live. Telly Smith has emerged as one of the best vocalists within the modern metalcore scene, and his evolution from the first The Word Alive record to now is really quite incredible. His scream was one of the most emotional and genuine found within that scene, and his songwriting skill melodically is really quite impressive. But unfortunately on this record he does seem to have taken a slight step backwards. While there are great melodies found throughout Violent Noise, like on the tracks Why Am I Like This and Real Life, there isn't the same melodic inventiveness that was found on older tracks like Dreamer and Suffocating from Dark Matter. There are also some truly horrible lyrical moments found throughout Violent Noise. In particular, a line from Stare at the Sun which reads, "Time's my mistress, my star-crossed lover." Ugh, it sounds like something out of a parody song. And going back to Human, the lyrics found throughout that entire rapped verse, you could read that on a meter that is just cringes per second. Asking Alexandria's Danny Warsnop also makes an appearance on Stare at the Sun and truly shows off his impressive vocal chops. And the intensity that he brings to the track really lifts up what was otherwise a quite bland composition. Real Life and Lonely stand out as two more highlights from the record, with the latter being a terrific closer to Violent Noise, with Telly Smith delivering this vocal performance that truly sounds like he's leaving every last piece of himself on the final seconds of the record. Lastly, I have to touch on the production job found on Violent Noise. It is atrocious. There's basically zero dynamics to the record, and whenever a big moment comes in, it feels squashed down and becomes this big bass frequency. Therefore, all the big moments on this record feel lackluster. So, overall, on Violent Noise, the Word Alive haven't exactly taken a step backwards, more a step left, or right, or diagonal. Look, I don't know, but it's definitely not forwards. Don't get me wrong, this record isn't bad, and compared to the band's peers, it's a step above. But after the promise shown on Dark Matter, Violent Noise can only feel like a disappointment, and I'm gonna give this record a 65 out of 100. And that's all I've got for you. Make sure you follow myself and Kill Your Stereo at all our social media channels in the description, and I'll see you guys next time.